Hi, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Barely in Bounds. Hey, Dave, we're a little late. We're a day late. We're only going to have one this weekend, all because of the Memorial Day weekend. Did you have a good weekend?
Hey, there was brats to grill. And speaking of brats and somebody who likes to eat, or at least used to like to eat, John Daly, it's official, he's going to be playing in Memphis. What do you think?
Well, you know what? He's had a really a good last couple of weeks over in Europe. He's been there 3 weeks. He's playing this week at the European Open. He's been a standout citizen. But quite frankly, I have my doubts. I still don't think that, he's earned, a merit. Yes, he could play in Memphis. It's his hometown.
Oh, you're a golf purist. You don't believe in mulligans, huh?
Well, you know what? I do believe in a mulligan, but he's a cat with 9 lives and already used 9 of his life. So, I think he's had more than his fair share of mulligans. Who knows? Maybe this time around will be the thing that, it takes. He's also very poor, and when you have no money in the bank account, you do kind of change your ways.
No, well, they're all playing for money out there, Sal. Come on. But I think it's great to see the guy playing. The crowds still love him. He's had a great reception over in Europe. His attire is certainly drawing some notice, and he's playing pretty well. And the tour is just desperate for some attention. And I think they should be welcoming the guy back with open arms myself.
Yeah, welcoming him back if he's going to be this way. But if he starts in with his crap on, kind of like, drinking in silent at the Hooters tent and mouthing off and things like that.
I think he's serious about this, and he was quoted as saying, he goes, after the surgery that he had, what I'm eating in 1 week is what I used to eat in 1 day. So,
Well, there's no two ways about it. Golf really needs, a smart John Daly, a guy that'll go out there and, woo the crowds. And he is very good, and he is very good with people. So.
Hey, does golf need the senior events? I guess you got some beefs with the way that the Senior PGA Championship was conducted.
Well, no, they conducted very good. I just don't like. They had 156 players in the field. They had a tough time getting, players. Yes, it's open to club pros, and I have no beef. I think the 35 club pros, they deserve it. They have a good time. They should be out there. That's what it's all about. But, I just have an issue. I think that they should cap it off at about 120. And they're inviting everybody and his uncle. If you're 50 years old and you play on some tour, they're going to allow you to, go over there. Mike Harwood was quoted in the Australian paper a couple of weeks ago as saying, hey, I got this phone call and I was shocked that they invited me. I haven't done anything since I won the British PGA back in 1990. And what they're inviting me about, I have no idea. So I think that they should limit it to 120 people. Now you're going to say, hey, the U.S. Senior Open and the British Senior Open has 156 players.
Yeah,
but
they're open championships with qualifiers.
This is a closed championship. This is a closed championship.
Hey, come on. Again, I think it just speaks volumes more about senior golf in general, or Champions Tour in general. Hell, half of those guys haven't done anything in 20 years, like Harwood. So does anybody really care? I mean, I just think those days are limited or numbered. But if I have a beef with the PGA of America, it's recently them offering an invitation to play in the PGA Championship to this Ryo Ishikawa, the 17-year-old kid from Japan who's done nothing this year and most recently missed the U.S. Open qualifier in Japan by a mile.
Well, the thing is that he's the in guy in Japan, and frankly, Shingo Katayama, who is like the hero over on the Japanese tour, he came out a couple of weeks ago and said, "Hey, this kid is just, he has no business out here right now. He's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot to do. He's 17 years old, and he shouldn't be a professional and be out here week after week.
Let's be honest. The PGA of America invited the guy just to boost ratings for Japanese TV. So, but as I said, he didn't do anything in the qualifier, but there were a couple of interesting stories in the qualifiers that went on the last couple of days, huh?
Well, of course, they had British Open qualifying in Texas, and Davis Love, the third got in. He's going to play 23 straight years in the British Open, which is kind of nice. And then they also had U.S. Open qualifying at Sunningdale, and you brought up a very interesting story of what happened.
Well, Peter Hansen from Sweden makes an ace on the second sudden death hole and gets the 11th spot, the very last spot in there. And it just, as he said, it just shows you what a crazy game that golf is. And I think when the British Open started these international final qualifiers several years ago, it was a stroke of genius. They had some issues with congressional, with guys not showing and guys withdrawing after the first round and whatnot. But I think they've sort of got this thing together. They've got the timing better and whatnot. So it's and U.S. Open or USGA followed suit on it. So I think it's been brilliant myself.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on it's brilliant. It's a good way. It means that these people don't have to pack up and Americans go over to England and try to qualify the week before and vice versa. You won't have many Europeans come over here. Michael Campbell was the first beneficiary of the whole thing. The first year that he had it, he qualified and won the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. And he said, hey, if you didn't have that, I wouldn't have played. So, but I have issue with the one that's in Texas this week. We're 6 weeks away from the British Open. I think it's way too early to have this. And the same thing with the U.S. Open. I'd rather see it, a couple of weeks ahead of time. I know that they have some in Asia and South Africa that happened back in February, but
yeah, it's not the best. But hey, the golf calendar is so crowded. I mean, when the heck else are they going to play some of these things? And that I thought the U.S. one fit pretty well between with all the guys in Texas. But, okay, speaking of Texas, let's move on. Colonial, who do you like?
Who do I like? Well, I kind of like Justin, Leonard because of the fact that he's played well there before. He really wants to win there. He's kind of a streaky player. He's played well the last couple of weeks. So I think he's going to be the horse to beat. I also like Tim Clark because of the fact that he should have won last year if it wasn't for Mickelson's miracle shot. My long shot pick is Charlie Wee, but my down deep in the heart pick will be Ian Poulter because of the fact that I picked him last week to win. He missed the cut, which I was totally amazed over. And I know that because if I don't pick him, he will win.
Well, I'm confident you'll finally get somebody who makes the cut this time, Sal. But me, I'm going with Kenny Perry. He's won there twice before. He's had a couple of weeks off to kind of regroup after that big, huge disappointment at Augusta. I just see him coming in and playing well there, no question. I got two long shots for you, a youngster and a wily veteran. My younger guy is rookie James Nitties. He's 26 years old from Australia, a guy with the perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. He seems to like Texas in the Valero Texas Open, and the Byron Nelson in his 8 rounds there have all been in the 60s, so he seems to be kind of hot right now. My other guy is the veteran Tommy Armour III. He tied for 10th at Colonial last year, which was his best showing ever there. He's 49, but he's been playing pretty well. In his last 5 starts, he's been in the top 25 4 times, including a tie for 6th at the Shell Houston Open. So I'm gunning for TA.
Yeah, sounds good. So, well, good talking to you again, and we'll be back next week for our 2 segments of Barely Inbounds. Take care, Dave.
See us out.